Alright, quick update on the blinker project. Excuse the croaky voice, I have a cold. So this is version 1.1 of the PCB, sorry, 1.0 of the PCB. It's got some stuff soldered onto it there, little socket and some headers and a cap that I just bought from JCar for testing. This was great, did everything I needed to do. So I've moved on. This PCB is inside all the blinkers that I've built so far, which includes this monstrous disaster, which is made with the polyester resin, and it's basically destroyed when I tried to fix it. So that's a bad one. This is the second try with the polyester resin. This was also a disaster. I don't know if this is waterproof. It's been sitting in the garden for a month or so and it's still working, so I don't know. I then upgraded to the epoxy resin and got way better results. It's looking pretty nice. There's no like cracks through it or anything. It's all perfectly sealed and very robust. I very much like that. And I did use the same resin but used a vacuum pump to pump out all of the dissolved gases and got this result, which I'm super duper happy with. I think it looks excellent. There's almost no bubbles inside. There are some bubbles trapped up against the PCB in there, but they don't impede function at all. The surface, it's got these wrinkles in it. That's from the contact adhesive I used as a mold release. I think next time I cast one of these I'm going to make a silicone mold that has a nice surface finish. But I'm ultra happy with that. It has also been sitting in the garden for a while. All of these, except for this disaster, have been just sitting in a plant pot out the front. So these all have the version 1.0 PCB in them. And just now I've got the version 1.1. So electrically it's the same. I haven't made any changes there, but I've just rearranged the components a bit to make it a bit easier to check for. I've taken out all of the through-hole jumper stuff, so I've got this JP1 solder bridge there for switching it from ISP power to capacitor power, because you can't. So interesting caveat with the ATtiny10, you can't program the flash at anything under 5 volts. So you need to have 5 volts on it to program it, but the caps I'm using don't like 5 volts. So I've got this little solder bridge here so I can program it up, bridge the solder, and then that joins the 3.3 or the 2.8 volt side of things up to the circuit to power the ATtiny. Does mean that once I get the caps in and I bridge that, then I can't program it anymore, but if I just sweep the solder off that pad, then I can go back to programming it. The other change I've made is I've added a through-hole connector up here for attaching an external LED, like a through-hole one on on some legs. I did that so I can snake it up around the solar panel. So it would be nice to be able to have the LED sort of snake around and shine out this side. That way if I do put an external LED on it, I can just unsolder the surface mount one. But otherwise it's all the same. I just added some convenience some to the silk screen. I did screw up. I've still got the cap power marker for the jumper pin, which I probably should have taken off. But yeah, really happy with this. Unfortunately, I got these from JLC, but they didn't put a little card in the thing saying make a YouTube video and we'll give you $50 off. So I got $20 off this one. Interesting caveat with JLC: they'll say they give you a $50 voucher towards your next PCB, but they don't tell you that they give it to you in like a 20, a 5, an 8, a 6, a 4, a 2, and you can only use one voucher per order. So no, I'm not complaining too much. So I'm going to make another couple of these. I think I've got a hand vacuum pump, like just for bleeding brake lines in motorbikes, which takes a while and is a bit rough. I've bolted it down to a bit of wood to make it easier, but I'm semi-considering buying a vacuum pump to get better results for these test ones. I think I might make a few more of these and maybe consider selling them or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I've got my process down. I can bash the solar panels out relatively quickly. and I got a new delivery of the capacitors, so I can make a few more of these. Okay. Bye-bye. Sorry, I'm looking at the camera from this direction. Obviously, that's where my hands are. But yeah. Okay, bye-bye. So, one other thing I forgot to mention, the differences between the 1.0 and the 1.1, is this one's got a 10-pin programming header on it for the ABR ISP standard pin layout. But there's also a 6-pin standard that only breaks out the pins you need. And I whipped up a little pogo pin programming doodaloo, so I can just go like, boop, program it up, done. Don't need to worry about soldering on that header, which saves a bit of time. Okay, bye.